Thanks for watching North Coast News on KAEF Channel 23.
Developing now as we come on the air from Eureka. First, the earthquake rocking parts of Humboldt. Our team of journalists gathering information from the USGS. And the rain and wind continuing late into the season. The surf pounding the shoreline. Our Courtney Kreider tracking that next weather maker. Also, the new reporting tonight out of McKinleyville. At this hour, the search on for the person who absconded with this very sentimental statue. Plus,
the government watchdog says tens of billions of dollars of your tax money is being wasted. The close to 400 steps that need to be taken to make sure that money is not being thrown away.
North Coast News at 6 on ABC 23 starts right now. Well, the North Coast continues to get pounded by that wet weather. This late season storm continues to bring widespread rain all over the coast.
Yeah, thanks for being with us. We start with severe weather first. Coastal communities getting a serious round of rain right now.
That's right. So how long will this unsettled weather pattern last? That's the big question. For that, let's get right over to First Alert forecaster Courtney Kreider starting us off tonight. Courtney, what should we be concerned about during all of this severe weather?
And with this system moving in, we have, of course, that chance of showers, thunderstorms still present, and then it's also bringing us some pretty high winds. So I want to point out a couple things on our marine forecast. You can see we are under hazardous sea conditions. That expires at 8 p.m. tonight, but still we're looking at about 17-foot waves in the period of 11 seconds. Now, this is from Point St. George to Cape Mendocino area. Over in Point Reyes and Pigeon Point, we're actually going to experience seas about 15 to 18 feet over this next day. Now, this small craft advisory is talking about because of those northwest winds, those are about 25 to 35 knots, and anytime it's over that 25 limit, that is when you get the small craft advisory. So a warning just for those small vessels, probably not a good idea to be out on the seas from this evening until tomorrow late morning. So that is in effect until tomorrow at 2 p.m. So that's kind of that cutoff point. And like we said, we're talking about winds about 25 to 35 knots, so pretty gusty out there, and seas up to 18 feet, and those, of course, could build as well.
Courtney, good information there. We will check back with you a little bit later on in this broadcast. Well, that small craft advisory making for some dramatically high seas out there, Nazi.
Yeah, those ocean conditions definitely rough at this hour. And let's take it out to our ABC 23's Dylan Brown, who's live for us out at the North Jetty. Dylan, blustery conditions out there.
Yeah, that's right, Nazi. The wet weather not letting up. We're seeing some heavy winds whipping up something nasty here on the North Coast. I'm here at the North Jetty live where you can just see these waves are crushing. Try to get out of the way. These swells increasing by the minute. I've been out here for about 20 minutes, and they're getting larger and larger each moment I'm out here. But it's not just here that we're seeing this heavy weather on the North Coast. Other places as well. In Eureka, we saw heavy downpour starting early this morning, continuing through the afternoon. That rain even hitting Arcata, Fortuna, just all across Humboldt County. But how long will it last? Well, let's get a look at our live weather radar right here. Not showing not much at first, but going into 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, the weather maker comes back with a vengeance. Folks in Ferndale seeing heavy amounts of rain going into the night. Here on the coast, lighter drizzle, but a little bit more inland, as you can see, seeing that impact. But the National Weather Service saying this dangerous downpour continues through midweek. Where I am right now on the North Jetty and areas all along the coast near this beach could see large swells up to 20 feet at 14 seconds. The National Weather Service even adding that the winds will likely whip up gale force speeds in some areas going into Thursday. That's right. So for folks close to these coastal waters right here, be aware. I've got my back not against the ocean. That's some advice right there, folks. Do not let your back towards these waters. It does get dangerous. And if you do decide to go out here at all during the week, during the weekdays, stay a safe distance away from this. It is dangerous waters out here. We'll keep a close look on the weather throughout the show, but we'll have a full weather forecast later on in the show. Nazi Scott, back to you.
Good report. Thank you, Dylan. Live at the North Jetty for us. Dylan, thanks.
Well, speaking of that wet weather out there, federal funding is on the way for California communities still recovering after this disastrous flooding from earlier this year. Governor Gavin Newsom says that FEMA has approved California's request for the presidential major disaster declarations. That funding was requested back in April after widespread flooding, mudslides, and damage across the state. The governor declared a state of emergency in 33 counties between February and April, including Humboldt, Del Norte, Trinity, Mendocino, and Lake counties. The funding is expected to help with recovery projects like replacing roads, bridges, and utilities.
Moving now to that strong jolt felt all over Humboldt, an earthquake registering a 3.8 on the Richter scale hitting near Pine Hill this morning. That quake striking at 10:19 to be exact. According to the USGS, the epicenter was 11 miles east-southeast of Pine Hill. Folks in Fortuna, Arcata, and Eureka all reported feeling the quake. Scott felt it. I did not, but we felt it here in our studio. There have been no reports of any damage or injuries. Now, we checked with NOAA. No tsunami warnings or watches were ever put into place. One viewer in southern Eureka told us her house jolted and her cats bolted.
All right. Moving now to that disturbing trend out of Southern California. There at a horse track for the 25th time this season, a racehorse has died at Santa Anita Racetrack. Very sad stuff here. So here's what we know. The latest victim, a thoroughbred named Spectacular Music. That horse breaking his pelvis during a race on Sunday. Officials say that he was euthanized after a comprehensive exam. Some insiders believe that the wet weather has been causing more horses to get injured and or die. Back in March, Santa Anita Park suspended all racing and training to address the issue, but 3 horses have still died since that racetrack has reopened. Now, so far, no necropsy results have been released on any of those 25 horses.
Moving to some sad news, wildlife officials want to know who killed 4 Roosevelt elk cows in Humboldt County, and there's now a reward being offered in the case. I have to warn you, some might find these images graphic. California Department of Fish and Wildlife says the animals were illegally killed back in December. 4 female Roosevelt elk were found shot dead in the Maple Creek area southeast of Blue Lake. Officials say one of the elk was pregnant. CDFW says elk hunting season was not open at the time, so now they're offering a reward for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of whoever's responsible.
Moving now to that news story and the despicable possible crime out of McKinleyville there. A woman says that she survived the campfire in Paradise. She relocates to Humboldt County only to have one of her only remaining sentimental possessions stolen. Now, Donna Drickey lost her home of 31 years in Magalia. It was destroyed in the campfire. After the dust settled, her daughter was able to salvage this sentimental statue from her ash-filled lot. She displayed it outside of her new McKinleyville home. She says it was stolen. Donna says that she was heartbroken that this new life she's tried to build has been tarnished by such an act, and she's hoping that someone might know something and step forward. Well, apparently, that's exactly what happened, Nazi. We got an update just into our newsroom in the past 5 minutes. What do you got, Nazi?
Yeah, just as we were about to get ready to come into the story, I actually received a message from Donna. She says, quote, OMG, oh my goodness, a young man just came and returned St. Francis.
Well, that's great news.
It's awesome news. I just received this message, so it's unclear exactly who returned it, what they said. But
I wonder where it went. Who absconded with it in the first place?
And the interesting part about this, too, is just before she sent me this message, another woman had reached out to her saying that she had a St. Francis statue that she could donate to her to replace it. So
that's good. Neighbors coming together.
Coming forward and helping her
and they found
recover. That's awesome.
Good news there. I like that. All right.
Coming up on North Coast News.
We're going to be talking Dubs, Sharks, and high school baseball. All of that in their latest sports report with Andy Krause. Plus,
it's coming down out there. Here's a live shot at the North Jetty. Our first alert forecaster, Courtney Kreider, will be coming at us from the Weather Center in just a bit with your full weather forecast. Plus,
the government watchdog says tens of billions of dollars of your tax money is being wasted. The close to 400 steps that need to be taken to make sure that money is not being thrown away.
We will have that report in 2 minutes. The time is 6:09. I'm Scott Race.
I'm Nazi Javi. This is North Coast News.
Yeah, I've seen a lot out here in the West. But a juicy charbroiled burger with a patty made from plants? Only the folks at Carl's Jr. can pull out something that bold. The new Beyond Famous Star with cheese. Only at Carl's Jr.
Oh, hi. You're here. Let me take you on a quick tour. Leon's offers a 48-point lube and oil change. We even vacuum the front area of the car. Leon's has installed thousands of brakes over the years. Our certified technicians can repair almost any problem and provide any maintenance service your vehicle requires. Basically, if it's broken, we can fix it. Leon's Car Care Center, corner of Broadway and Washington in Eureka. Leon'sCarCare.com.
Yeah, I've seen a lot out here in the West. But a juicy charbroiled burger with a patty made from plants? Only the folks at Carl's Jr. can pull out something that bold. The new Beyond Famous Star with cheese, only at Carl's Jr.
Performance is your profession, but you strive to take the next step in your career. GCU's PhD in Performance Psychology gives you the tools you need to elevate your performance to the next level.
Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Attention, hernia surgery patients.
Did you have hernia mesh implanted after 2005 that resulted in serious complications or revision surgery?
Call 1-800-718-9700 now. You may be entitled to significant compensation. If you needed revision surgery after suffering serious injuries from hernia mesh implanted after 2005,
call Fears Nachawati at 1-800-718-9700 now.
You might take something for your heart or joints, but do you take something for your brain? With an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish, Prevagen has been shown in clinical trials to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
Here, the federal government's watchdog comes out with a report that shows how our tax dollars are wasted and provides suggestions for how to put an end to that waste.
Sinclair National correspondent Christine Frizzell brings us a look at the latest findings.
Tens of billions of dollars wasted cleaning up nuclear waste. Hundreds of millions blown making copies at the Department of Defense. The price tag of these and many other examples of improper payments to you, the taxpayers, according to a new report from the Government Accountability Office, $151 billion just in 2018.
The fact that the federal government issues improper payments totaling more than 10 times the entire New Hampshire state budget is really staggering and obviously unacceptable to all of us.
Nearly every government agency is on the government watchdog's list, from the Department of Agriculture to the U.S. Mint. Congress has taken some action, like a new bill that aims to stop payments to dead people, a result of their deaths not being reported to many government agencies.
The Social Security Administration, which has this database, it recently said there were over 6.5 million Americans that were older than 112. That's just not the case, but obviously a lot of folks who have deceased are still receiving inappropriate payments.
The biggest offenders in terms of not addressing or only partially addressing actions recommended by the GAO, the Departments of Defense, Health and Human Services, and the Internal Revenue Service. In many cases, they ignored suggestions on how to improve for years.
Why is it that it's so hard for agencies to do this?
Yeah, well, it's in some cases they need new systems to be able to do it, and it takes a while to develop those systems. Sometimes they're not convinced.
Lawmakers say they hope new laws and better oversight will convince them and usher in a new era where wasteful spending is the exception and not the rule. In Washington, I'm Christine Frizzell.
Christine, thank you for that report. New developments tonight in the battle over California's high-speed rail project. Today, the state filing a lawsuit to block the Trump administration from scrapping funding for that high-speed rail. The suit comes after a week after the Federal Railroad Administration says that it would cancel nearly $1 billion promised by Congress for the project. The administration says that the state has not made enough progress on the project. Governor Gavin Newsom says that the move is retribution for California's criticism of President Trump's immigration policies. The lawsuit states, quote, "The decision was precipitated by President Trump's over-hostility to California, its challenge to his border wall initiatives, and what he calls the Green Disaster High-Speed Rail Project," end of quote. The proposed high-speed train would run from Los Angeles to the Bay Area.
Another announcement by Governor Newsom in Oakland today, his plan to create a homeless task force. The announcement comes just days after point-in-time counts came back from the Bay Area showing significant increases in the homeless population. The point-in-time count here in Humboldt County done in January also showing a spike in homelessness this year compared to last year. The governor says the idea is to get down to the local level, coming up with regional plans to address homelessness. As of now, he says the state is falling short when it comes to this type of planning.
Still ahead on North Coast News. We're talking about the Dubs, the Sharks, and high school baseball, all in sports. Big game last night by the Warriors, sweeping the Portland Trail Blazers. We'll have all of that in your sports report with Andy Krause.
And here's a live look out at the North Jetty. What's it
Dylan,
like?
be careful out there, son.
Don't do what Dylan does and go to the North Jetty and do that, please. It is dangerous. Also, if you have severe weather video and pictures, please send them to us on Facebook. We might share some of them on the news tonight.
That's right. Our first alert forecaster, Courtney Kreider, is tracking this spring storm for us. She will be coming to us from the Weather Center in less than 2 minutes. The time is 6:15. This is North Coast News.
Hey there, I'm Kelly Pickler.
And I'm Ben Aaron.
Ben, he's all about being silly.
The better dancer is...
If they have eyeballs, it's me.
you. Kelly's fearless. She will do anything.
I haven't bugging enough.
Summing up this show in one word.
Whoa. Is that a word? Watch Pickler and Ben. Anybody know a good co-host?
Weekdays on ABC 23.
Go green, safe green at Pape Machinery Ag and Turf. For a limited time, take home a new John Deere compact utility tractor with 0 down and 0% financing for 84 months. Backed by the Pape exclusive 10-year warranty and with attachments built for versatility, a new John Deere is the perfect mix of value and legendary performance. Run with us this spring at one of our 21 locations throughout the West. Pape keeps you moving. Learn more at papemachinery.com.
I'm just arriving on scene of a two-alarm fire here in Eureka.
The confirmed details from Eureka Police Chief Steve Watson was that there was a reported possibly stabbing. Now, we got out here a little after 10.
This portion of the news sponsored in part by Redwood Capital Bank.
Well, tonight will likely be the coolest night before this next system hit us. You can see it is going to bring some sunshine, but with that mix of temperatures, we're still going to have the chance of thunderstorms lingering. Now, here are your current conditions. We're looking at 54 degrees in Arcata and Eureka. Doesn't look, it looks pretty clear, and winds pretty calm as well. Those, though, are going to pick up and last throughout the week. Looking at Crescent City, about 55 degrees right now. Here, taking a look at precision cast, you can see tonight at 10:30 that those showers are going to start to move south, still lingering over Eureka, and south of that, it's still getting some moderate rainfall, but that's all going to push out, and we're mainly going to be clear through the evening, starting off our Wednesday morning, actually with some clear skies, just a little bit foggy along the coastline, a few maybe pop-up showers or two, but Wednesday by noon, still just a little bit of that fog, but it's looking like one of our clearest days with that low pressure system pushing out that moisture and giving us a little bit of sunshine. So we are going to warm up tomorrow. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But then Wednesday evening, you see some pop-up showers coming over Eureka and see a little bit to our west. That's all going to make its way over. And we do have those chances for thunderstorms. It's going to pop back up again on Friday. Now, taking a look at this evening for the winds, we are picking up to 20 degrees or 20 miles per hour, over in Eureka, staying pretty calm over in Crescent City. But looking at our Wednesday morning, you can see we're in the 20s for both Crescent City and Eureka. Even some areas south of that looking like 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Now, this is going to affect our marine forecast. Like I said, we had that small craft advisory. That's still in effect through tomorrow till 2, and hazardous seas are in effect until 8 p.m. tonight. So just a warning for those small vessels. Probably not a good idea until tomorrow evening. Now, your low tide's coming tonight around 8:30 p.m. Just about 2-foot waves. High tide's going to be shortly after 2:30 in the morning. Not winds. We're looking at north winds 15 to 25 knots, and then waves around 12 feet in a period of 10 seconds. So definitely those bigger waves. That's why we have those hazardous sea conditions. And with that small craft, advisory, we do have those waves even building up to 18 feet. So take a look at your forecast for your highs for your Wednesday. It is going to be warmer, looking at those upper 50s for Shelter Cove and Fortuna, 71 degrees for Garberville, 75 over in Hoopa and Willow Creek, 68 for Alder Point. Now, we are going to, like I said, have warmer temperatures all around, but still sticking in that upper 50s to low 60s range for Crescent City, Blue Lake, McKinleyville. Orleans, though, warming up to 72 degrees. Now, winds, like I said, we're going to start off your Wednesday morning pretty breezy, and that's likely going to last through your Thursday. So we do have those marine conditions that you're going to want to pay attention if you're headed out there. But check out your 7-day forecast for the next little bit. We have warmer conditions, like I said, coming tomorrow compared to what we've had, and you can see some sunshine for the next few days, but that chance of rain coming again for your Memorial Day weekend. It looks like those sunny on the coast for your Sunday and Monday if you have on any barbecue plans. Now, looking inland, definitely warmer conditions compared to what we had today, looking at 75 degrees for your Wednesday, 77 for Thursday, but a chance of showers is coming again mid-Thursday, lasting through your weekend. So just want to pay attention if you have any of those outdoor plans.
You ready? I'm ready. I'm 10 steps ahead of you. I'm not buying what you're saying to me, but I'm going to let you dig your hole. No. You don't hustle me. Now we're getting somewhere. You're making up a story now. I can tell. I'm like a truth machine. We're done.
Weekdays on ABC 23. Lay the foundation for your next project at Hensel Materials. It's where local contractors and do-it-yourselfers go for quality building materials, like drywall and wall textures. Find the right products to turn your dream into reality, like pavers and decorative stone, landscaping, gravel, and erosion control materials, concrete and insulation. Be inspired by what you'll discover at Hensel Materials in Eureka on Broadway behind Great Western Clothing.
Your next new Chevrolet now comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty when you buy from Northwood Chevrolet. Enjoy the excitement and fun of your new Chevy and drive with confidence with Northwood's lifetime powertrain warranty on top of the manufacturer's warranties. Find new roads with a new Chevrolet, car, truck, or hybrid. You can shop Northwood Chevy online at any time. NorthwoodChevy.com. Northwood prices and selections offer the ability to buy local from family-owned Northwood Chevrolet.
The Doctors. Weekdays on ABC 23.
Welcome back, North Coast. Leading us off tonight, busting out the broom.
The old proverbial broom.
The Warriors.
This is a real broom.
That is a real broom.
Yeah,
but the
not a proverbial
Warriors
broom.
advancing to their 5th consecutive NBA Finals after completing the sweep of the Portland Trailblazers.
Let's get to the highlights. Steph Curry, 37 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists. Okay, so this would be tough. Portland comes out. They play pretty well. They were up, I think, at one point, 17 points in this game.
You're right.
Klay Thompson, three-pointer. They were up 17 points in other games during this series. It just seems like they cannot put the Warriors away, the champs away. Lillard there coming up short. He has got to be exhausted at this point, giving it all he got. Let's talk about giving it all he got. This guy right here, Steph Curry to Draymond Green. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Huge shot there by Draymond Green. Those two right there messed around and had a triple-double, both of them.
Right.
That's pretty impressive.
Lillard,
last chance effort there, comes up short. Great energy by the Warriors. Great defense by the Warriors. Curry just looked physically exhausted after this game, left it all on the court, and he's a champion. He's a winner. Western Conference champion. There's Seth and Steph, brothers. Brotherly love right there.
Let's hear what Kerr had to say.
All right, let's roll the tape.
Doesn't go unnoticed or underrated. 5 straight finals hasn't been done since the 60s, since Bill Russell's Celtics. Hasn't been done for a reason. It's really, really difficult. And so I just can't say enough about the competitive desire of the group of players that we have here.
Andy, I think now only the Rangers are the only other team in sports that has been to 5 consecutive Western Conference Finals and won them.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Rangers.
That's in baseball or hockey?
Hockey.
Oh, wow. Did not know that. All right, well, let's bring it back out here. And let's go to the Sharks. In Game 6 of their series, the Sharks underway right now as we speak. Haven't been in this spot since the opening round of the playoffs, where they're trying to stave off elimination.
That's right. The puck dropped for Game 6 of their series at 5 o'clock, and the Sharks have a little more to deal with here. They're down 2-1 right there, as you can see in the second period. Blues obviously lead that series 3-2. So the Sharks, they're comeback kids, but this seems to be the time of season where sometimes they really start to struggle. We'll see if they can pull this out.
Playing with a couple injuries tonight, but they just got that goal. They were down 2-0, so things possibly going in the right direction there.
Yep, we'll see where the Sharks end up. All right, moving on now.
High school baseball, where both the baseball and softball tournaments are heating up, and the North Coast very much involved. 12 teams from the North Coast had a chance to take the crown, 7 of them still alive. Let's start in Division 4 baseball. McKinleyville and Arcata, the tournament's top 2 seeds, both have their quarterfinal games tomorrow. McKinleyville takes on Redwood Christian at McKinleyville High at 5, while Arcata will battle Piedmont at Arcata Ballpark at the same time. Division 6, top-seeded South Fork takes on San Francisco Waldorf. That semifinal matchup will take place at South Fork Wednesday at 5.
Moving to softball now, more quarterfinal action tomorrow in Division 4 with McKinleyville taking on Kennedy at home, 5 o'clock. Arcata, meanwhile, will travel to Cardinal Newman for their game there. Arcata defeated Beren Christian 9-4 on Friday to set up that matchup. Hopefully I said that. Is it Beren Christian?
That's right.
Okay. In Division 5, Hoopa will play out there in Credo tomorrow at 5 o'clock in Hoopa. The Warriors defeating University 8-5 on Friday to advance in Division 6 on South Fork. Will take on Emory at home. That'll be on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Andy, a lot to get through there.
Right. Well, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Don't go anywhere.
When severe weather strikes your backyard,
we're on the ground alerting you to potential dangers.
So these hazardous conditions aren't letting up, and neither is this major weather we're seeing here.
To strong storms and sneaker waves.
Every portion of the North Coast getting hit really hard with this flooding.
We're here keeping you safe.
It is just rushing as it goes underneath Fern Bridge right now.
North Coast News. Severe weather first.
Summer's here. Time to get a great deal on a new Toyota. And then go out and do all the fun things the season has to offer.
For Memorial Day only, save $12.50 when you finance with Toyota on RAV4 and RAV4 Hybrid. Toyota, let's go places.
Dear Mad River Community Hospital, I brought my son into your emergency room with a high fever and severe pain in his stomach. I wasn't prepared to hear he needed surgery. But Dr. Barker and the nurse's explanation of the procedure put me at ease, and they were comforting to both Connor and I. Today, he is a healthy and happy boy. Thank you, Mad River Hospital, for being so kind and caring.
Mad River Community Hospital, always ready with 24-hour emergency services.
Summer's here. Time to get a great deal on a new Toyota. And then go out and do all the fun things the season has to offer.
For Memorial Day only, get special financing on the fully redesigned Corolla and first ever Corolla Hybrid. Toyota, let's go places.
Weekdays on ABC 23.
Now, before we go, coming up tonight at 10 o'clock, our reporter Dylan Brown will have an in-depth story on the tourism in Eureka.
Yeah, the Eureka Council could make the final decision tonight on who to partner with on a $370,000 tourism contract. Dylan spoke with Eureka's development director, Rob Homeland, asking if there's a possible conflict of interest in the matter.
That wouldn't affect this decision at all, the fact that there's a wife of somebody who is involved directly in one of the decisions. Do you think that would affect it at all?
I don't think so, no.
A member of the panel is related to someone who's in the choosing of the thing. You can see how that's skeptical, right?
Yeah.
Dylan will bring us that decision and the story tonight on where your tourism dollars could be going.
It's all your tax money, and it's a lot of it. That story tonight, World News Tonight is next. Good night.
He's really going to cut my hair, isn't he?
Weekdays on ABC 23.
Over 7,000 shows,
more than 400,000 clues. This is America's favorite quiz show host. This is Jeopardy!
Weekdays on ABC 23.
Farrah was a golden girl, bigger than life.
Now, 10 years after her death, stunning rare video.
There's no room for despair, and deepest desire is to live.
This is Farrah Fawcett.
That's one thing people probably don't know about her.
Thursday at 8, 7 Central on ABC.
The Lewises own one of California's only craft brewing equipment manufacturing companies. When interest in their craft grew nationally, they tapped into Tri-Counties Bank business loan specialist Aaron Beckman. Aaron and team drafted a thorough review of their finances and gave them a well-crafted way to purchase new machinery and a business line of credit to keep access to funds a-flowing, raising spirits and productivity. Now that's a refreshing solution. For personalized problem-solving, switch to Tri-Counties Bank. Service with solutions.
I need a hug.
Weekdays on ABC 23.
Tonight, the